Hello, hello, hello. Hello, it is I, Tasso, and I am back from from wonderful Nihon. Yeah, so I was in Japan last week, and it was a really good holiday. I really enjoyed my time there. I was pretty much by myself, just by myself. Uh, I mean, I stayed with a friend. I stayed at a friend's place, but like for the most part, I was pretty much just exploring the place myself, which was fun, really cool. My back, my back is like very tired. My legs are sore, but overall, it was just a really good trip. But yeah, anyway, and I'm refreshed and ready to get back into things. But yeah, so today we are starting Citizen Sleeper, which is the game I've been wanting to play for quite a while, but because of circumstances and everything, I just have to keep putting it off. But we're finally here. So I do not know much about this game. I know it's like inspired by tabletop RPG stuff ish, and I know it had like a nomination in the Game Awards last year, I believe. But yeah, beyond that, I don't really know much. So it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, alright. Anyway, let's just begin. Oh yeah, so choose your class extractor. Oh, okay. Machinist, modifies, engage. Digital interfaces, operator, extractor. Yeah, yes, TTRPG. I know this was this is sort of a TTRPG in like a video game format, I believe. Not 100% sure, so don't Operator, high precision. Sleepers sent operator work are cerebral and precise people. Careful, diligent, and structured people. As an extractor work, confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Yes. Cryo on interface action. Trying to get random scrap item on engineer actions. I'm kind of leaning towards machinist or operator. So, engage. Hey, let's go with machinist, I think. There we go. Let's see where this leads. The first thing you become aware of on waking is disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting, minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body, forget that body. Do I? Wait, what do I do? Trying to like, my controller is not working. This is annoying. Mouse? Okay. Alright, let me just use the mouse when I have to. Yeah, let's think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dark nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves. Just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, remember the others. Remember the others? You used to remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found a meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hole of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of the damage to your legs. Your right arm, you have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of the impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recall into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its senses. Then light, white as the coal, softer and softer, until in the haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Ooh, Dragos, pragmatic salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in the corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where plasma arcs slice them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all taught yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside. Orthodox in my time, they weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His head set with his glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulders, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, his irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in the memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. What happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software, a rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. As an ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well then, no one can. You remember that too, or at least of it from the other sleepers. Obsolos. Oh god. I know the word. Oh, hello, Sneasley. Well, I mean, you didn't miss much. I just started the game. So yeah, I just started the game. I think we are like a bionic android that escaped the corporation? Question mark. I mean, there's still a lot to figure out, I imagine. Planned obsolescence, I believe. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Eh. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Obsolescence. Yeah, something like that. I can't pronounce words even though I know what they are. It's so annoying. Okay. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. Hardware, not a common one. Yeah. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get up to your feet. Nod. Alright, you head on. You head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the racks, his drones already converging on the rusting hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Okay. Welcome to Erin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container to rest and end the cycle now. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, that's cool. Empty container. You're home for now. End cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Alright. Unpredictable and unimaginable today. Those are also indeed words. Pause still was. You wake up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the coal. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Getting answers, I think. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What SNR did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. I need water. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. There we go. You thumb the pile. And what today? But hi, dyslexia. I'm sorry, friend. I don't have dyslexia, but I do struggle to pronounce a lot of words at times as well. So I feel that. You thumb the power start of the stove and you begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachet smell like damp wood and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As a pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people are good speakers, to be fair. I'm also not a great speaker. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stuff as best as you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Condition, action dice, and energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. Aw, yay! Oh, kitty. Good kitty. It's always nice to have a yeah. I don't have, I mean I already said I didn't have a pet, but I can imagine how nice it is to have your pet sleep beside you. It's very cute. You have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to the corporate the medicine. They just call it the medicine. The corporate medicine that was keeping you alive. There we go. Streaming helps with speaking. Yeah, it helps me to try and enunciate words. Pharmaceutical medicine. They just call it medicine. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further action, then you must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Full mattress topper. Yeah, I know some like cats are also really particular about the kind of things. Well, not just cats, dogs as well. Rigos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, realizes it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is browned by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard is simple stuff. We hack this old house down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something comes in. Wait. I need water again. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something comes in with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, you wouldn't usually do this, in my opinion. You'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, he trails off. But the things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you are feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. I should do the low end. Well, let's just go to the yard, I suppose. There's really not much I can do. Oh god, actions are the primary way you interact with the world of the sleeper. To perform actions, select with the D-pad and A, and choose the action dice to begin. Actions reward you with clock, progress, energy, condition, or item depending on the outcome. There are 3 types of outcome: positive, neutral, negative. Action dice affect these outcomes. Okay, so the full hexagon is 100%, 50%. Okay. No, this is gonna be like a bit to take in. Type either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, safety or danger. Negative, outcome, danger. Alright. The skill this action requires either modifier added to perform. Okay. I am an engineer, so might as well use this. Yeah. Actions often progress clocked. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fuel them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Such clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's depth, are cycle clocks. So these clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. guess you can just do is you will lock drive to discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives. Depending on which path you wish to take, you can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on your location that will help you pursue your goal. L1, okay. Your life for yourself, tracking your drive to help you survive, look for food, fuel clocks, and cycle. The camera with R. Conference center, others. Oh, okay, I can look at other things now. Okay. Anything here? No. For you, well, you started streaming regularly in 2018, right? I believe so. I think roughly around there, yeah. Like not long after I started, because I did start streaming roughly around the time I started working as well, I think. Ooh, yes, all the cats. Ooh, there's a market. Yeah, let's just explore the market. Yeah, local knowledge. You manage to know, follow the flow of people and start to appreciate, even enjoy the chaotic layout of the markets. Alright, but... Oh, there's the doctor. Next comes a call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you are not so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hat block, they all have made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Let's look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. Aw, that's nice at the room. Yeah. You don't have to, but it's nice. And for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Transfix. Come sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit, they gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression. When you first entered, fear, recognition, sadness unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been? On the station, they asked, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles! They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNR remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good, that may help. They swapped your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, unclassified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNR has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starwood Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Amber. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Alright, wait for Sabine to acquire the stabilizer. I also have run out of stuff, so time to rest, I think. Yeah. And cycle. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the skeleton, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you, insistently, as if it was a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in a container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station's played out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. need food. Yeah, okay, I can't do anything here. I think for the last one, we will explore the market again. Yeah. Oh, food. Amphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red flag dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Watch. Despite the queue, Amphis doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Amphis remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd and Amphis sets down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? I'll pay you. Don't be shy, he gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy. The smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Amphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him the story. You begin to tell him about your story to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its depressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to order the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded by a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste senses light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Yes, we got food. We got food. Food. We got food. But yeah, I think we're done for the day. Back. We're 45. Alright. Again, the skeletal rig of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before, but the threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, and then leap off into the void. You begin to understand these are nodes of connections, a map of information, of communication. There's so many layers, so many loops that it almost seems impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Focus on the threads. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread when you first saw them. They are not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things woven from data strings of all kinds. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then the insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. The first one. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer to each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering over a strange angular body. A pulse shoots up from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Oh no, it won't be long before they arrive. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there you can use dice and items to extract systems and these networks are old and strange. Alright. Well, first let's pay back Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity in the yard. Red blinking lights flash across the vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across the scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Draco stands to the side, focusing on the hulking ship as it is lowered to the yard. What is it? Draco's laugh. That, my friend, is a great scrap. I should thank you. This place was on the last legs when you turned up, and look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of his crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching you wonder if you arrive in a similar fashion. Locked inside that container, the wreck of the Ascent-Up freighter lowered into the yard, like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulders. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side, Winterlight. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, suddenly feeling cold in the empty passage. How do I upgrade? Okay, completed your first drive. Each drive unlocks an upgrade point to expand says your character. Alright. Well, let me... we go. Ooh, you scrap components at home to repair condition. That's actually pretty good. I think I want this. We need food. Yeah, I mean, we have food. Go. Fungus fan. Increasing nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure it's going to hold his nerve much longer. Oh no, shit. Crap. Well. We need to end the day. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up! Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a walking grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I called you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around, just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it the old Aaron said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. Erlen? You pass together into the main walkway. No one has told you about Erlen? He's the founder of this place, that's why it bears his name. Haven H should organize some seminars, he laughs. Not really my department though, I'm with systems. Haven H? Think of us as an administrative association for the eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerge as a response to or a continuation of Andres Erlin's original union, he smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about your sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then, when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about your sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Oh yeah, I can go. Wait, let me eat food first. I also... The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them. A set of vials line up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan They throw it off. We should treat it with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it's really what it appears to be. I don't care. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. The gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in the transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes these passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. In very basic terms, yes, they sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away, at least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin raiding the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the side, a fizzling, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears and sees in shots of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim with darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their sleep. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't afford you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The hue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. $100. Oh boy. Yeah. Do I upgrade? No. Cell components. Yeah. Trusted trader. Alright. And I can do one more thing. Yatagan agent. It allows to extract order for the idea work like dice action by in order to match your dice with the one displayed. the fire, we give more dice to our match. Alright. That. Oh god, there's so many of them. So I'm Cypher. I guess. We need more food. Oh, the things are there. Okay, wait. Food first. Buy some scrap. Yeah. What is this other thingy? Wait. Fun. Sleeper. Fun catches your attention as you approach the Revenge building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. Easier to come in this way, security and all that. He gives you a look, you know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Underneath also a stack, and you like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are built from the original station, AE1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we've never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines coming all around you. I know you can see these too, Sleeper, all these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can't. I don't believe you. How do you think I found you? You are like a beacon lighting up the systems that surround you, assessing them without even knowing. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Phone notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run though. They are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I help you with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place, subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets, a shitload of secrets. With your help I can unlock this place, break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Revenge there is old growth, those whose roots trace back to the bad old days. You help me dredge up the past and I see what I can do about the tracker of yours. He winks. Sure, I'm in. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, sleeper. Passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Soham cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the notes inside. Start by bringing me whatever you can use up. Whatever you can use up. You can turn up. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Use the emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceilings, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper, and I'll see you soon. The steps blinking back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. New drive. I know there's like... need two. Drift back from the note surrounding, something latches onto you. A thread, strung tight around you, tethers you in place. A taste, the voice makes you shiver. A source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant light, a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a ship is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Stay still. Please hold. Whoa. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder. Oh, hello there. Hello there, new person. Hope you are enjoying the stream. A cylinder, a tunnel of light circles around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on light legs. Though there is no ground here to pace on. Identify. Entity, identify. Origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Stay silent. Refusal. The figure's strange head rotates, brackish signature, off and not off, attempting interface. As the figure speaks, small threads begin to spiral from his head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect, you are an entity. And all at once, the hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of your taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a rigid edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back to the station light, shaking with fear. Alright, yes. Oh. From the walkway of the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. She's quite beautiful, I think, shipyard worker and his daughter. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged. His work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lamb. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina, he adds with a smile. Hi, Lamb. Hi, Hi, he replies plainly, then shifts a little closer down the rail. Mina stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her, Lem? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship. Just admiring. He shifts Mina's arm weight to his other arm. Working. Me too. He flashes a revenge pass. I knew it, just to look at you. I mean... He stumbles a little over his words, not wanting to be misunderstood. I mean, you look like a worker. She's Mina and my ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. The ship? Haven't you heard? Anyone who takes a revenge contract on the Sidereal Horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world. He winks. Transit support? Someone needs to stay awake to keep the thing running. He straightens up, scratching his back. There's a colony ship, friend. The Celis Foundation is sending thousands to settle to a system well outside the reach of the core world. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. So, why is it here? Why build it here, you mean? He grins. Don't ask me. I know as much as Mina about that. He ruffles Mina's hair thoughtfully. I suppose many corporations weren't too happy about breaking with the idea of surrogacy, setting up somewhere without feeding it back to the core. Maybe Sally's got locked out of the corporate shipyards and had to go begging for somewhere to set up. Homeless, just like Mina and me. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers. Food. Pulling an exaggerated grumpy face, she glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you, and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Revenge crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. I'm working on it. He looks out to the Sidereal Horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches, from the vast hull. We gotta hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? No, she straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me, she says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies. Isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side. And she clings to his leg. Gotta go fit this one. He pats her back. Maybe you'll see you on the ship, huh? He turns and they walk down the hall walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile to catch up before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the Sidereal Horizon. A ticket out. Severed access. do next? Okay, let's continue doing this, I think. Yeah. And I think I'll get the stabilizer. Key for apartment. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's gaze, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer valve, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from the valve. At one end is a hard metal strip, a handle. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. It is an entry key for somewhere. The handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers printed into it, 207F, and then crudely scratched into a handle at some later date, low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Toshiro passing on the message? Time to head into the low end to find out. Alright. Now I can... I think interface is probably the best option to go. Go home. Solheim data. Yeah. What are the keys for though? Matter of whoever's chasing after me. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are assigned numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up, keeping your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey sleeper, wait up! Lam's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the cloud, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. Good to see you, friend. He is breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team, good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by her side, shiny streaks coming down both of cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good, we just have to rush up here. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know. A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers glowing brightly on the display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wait to the entry checkpoint. Len stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit! Mina. He starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks, staring. Thank you, Al. He crouches to Mina. You're going to stay with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe and... He stands back up. Here, take her back. He shoves into your hand. She's got food. Shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lamb disappears into the rolling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lamb at her side. She fixes you with dark-eyed look they can't quite read. Let's move. She holds the stare unmoving, the two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A better slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside is a ragged rabbit, hand sewn. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but she holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. Give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She wraggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. I am. So cool, Mina has more questions. Lots and lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. Before long, you're talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the ice heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He is dirty and tired, but Mina lifts up his legs and into his arms stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing on his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lam's arms, her suspicions gone. Well. Looks like Minnie can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, white smile. I owe you. Look. He glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is gonna be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end. He grins sheepishly, if you have the time. But now I have to take this one to eat. He plays at biting Mina and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper. He waves and they stumble down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spaces as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. Aww. Help Len work. Aww. Study the winter light. Man, I have so many things to do. Ooh. Oh god, this is gonna take a hot minute. Alright. so I'm data. There we go. One encrypted key. Alright. Oh man, running out of time as well. Crap. Sleeper, Amphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a chopped mushrooms into the wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you cycle in, cycle out. But we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils. And you think about the kind of story you like to tell Amphis. Continue. You look at Amphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. I tell you about my dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Amphis, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey, skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrive at this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or a particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Amphis finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Amphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks. A natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his store. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think, a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap, in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. And Fitzpatrick begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I'll prepare for you, and if you wish, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Amphis. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Amphis likes his walk away and straightens up. I'll prepare a recipe then, Slipper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Amphis's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trait that seems more than fair. Let's just cross fingers and pray. Oh, crap. Well, we do get scrap though, I guess. Let's sell this. Trusted trader. Yeah, alright. Oh god, there's so much more stuff now. Scale the spoke. Oh, I get block maintenance. Ooh, I could do that as well. Alright, let's go here. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the derivatives of routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glazes everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Inspect the surfaces. Smudges through a thin layer of dust suggests a recent, rare and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, then the cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. You cross the cramped utility room with auto wash dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway it's a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and components you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper, Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling voices, static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare share it to show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust them. Their voices become distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan was supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the recording, but I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know, Sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out and you can get what you need. Please. With a static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working the desk, slipping the bunk, blinking to the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with white hiss, then silence. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from, and what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without the stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. A new drive. Extract Yatagan data. How much data do I have? I have Havenge data. Oh, babysit Lina. Well, wait, I need... No, I need engage. No, sorry, Lamb, I can't help you. Probably. Alright. I might save on... I feel like this is probably going to be my best way out right now. Yeah. Random scrap item. Yeah, let's go. Alright. Yeah, I need 4. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as your data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in an unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle! You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity! Hold for processing! Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake. Dizzy, distorted, but safe. Shit, there was this. I didn't notice at all. Skill upgrade required. No, it's okay. Alright, that is probably going to be completely useless to me. Oh yeah, there is... I need to get the data today. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Feng's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by a hammer of a fist on the metal casing. These snaky shitheads, say silent. Sleeper? That you, or am I in trouble? Feng's grinning head pops up from behind the stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose cables that blanket the dark floor. Feng is sat in front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links to the data. The table seems to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Feng laughs. Maybe all of them, but what kind of a shithead? Solheim? Bingo, he taps at the terminal. I pulled this from the old data you brought in, all the employees of the Eye's original owners. And he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snake shithead. He steps at the screen with his finger. The name reads Hardinhurst. Friend of yours? Feng gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Slipper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardinhurst in her venge. He waits for a reaction. In her venge? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Feng leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on the station as Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risks and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttered thousands of Palladium Rush workers into their infrastructure, which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. And how do you know about this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am the child of the collapse. Fern turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code. Hello, Eris. Strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks. He hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that they paid for their existence, the cycles of hard extraction cut out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. It was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead stick. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money can get you if you're a company man. Fern relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fern brings up a map of the lower eye. Her venge might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from the system digging around their stuff. Plus, we just need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. I'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data, and this one is set on the scent of Hardinhurst. He hands it over. Getting to the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. You can extract yourself a Havenge cipher from a Havenge agent. They sometimes carry them among their data caches, and you can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. What's in it for me? Rooting out crops, Nick. Not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on the tracker of yours. Feng stretches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, I'll send back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I can aim to get the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through the data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for new life. The hope of a better future engineered to line someone else's pocket. It is an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. No, I still need to... Ah, God, I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be fucked, I'm like... Oh well. Holy there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He is wearing a white smoke and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he is terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That the sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Looking into the eye though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Mars, bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contacts out of asteroid caves or off godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrist. Go easy. Good, you got the idea, he grins. It's over. Ethan nudges you to start walking to the ship and hope, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. We can work this out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here, just head back to S and up right away. The tracker of yours makes this too easy. I was hoping you'd be up more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or hold out in the low end. There's a few establishments that we've enjoyed checking out while I ask around. You walk on in the silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. The S and app tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. This better be not one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate system, and we are heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But... you come to meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you pay my tab. I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, that sounds to me like a deal. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but it's so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from his wrist. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I don't know. Ethan strikes and turns and strikes off the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? In cycles to run through. Okay. What do I do? I do need food. Yeah, there we go. Making good progress on that though. That's good. I might need to get another one soon. I need to get the stabilizer in now. Alright. Yeah, I think it's time to inject the stabilizer. Go. And first things first is to get a new stabilizer. Because I'm earning decent money. It's just 3 days, that one is 4 days. Maybe I can just skedaddle real quick. try something that I... Yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll just end the day here. Oh, it also sells scrap. I forgot. Shit. Let me do that next. Sure it won't be that easy. Wanted Yatagan, but I don't have the right dice as well. I like speed run this? Might be the best idea. Alright. We also need money in case we fucked up, in case we need security. Alright, I need food first. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. It's Feng. Feng, my man, as you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking by you surprise. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Follow his lead. He steps into the passageway, guiding you downrange towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you rip. Well done, by the way. He grins. Tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of the compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right, it's the perfect time. Feng slows and dips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere in the black a water pipe drips. It's him, sleeper, the same Hardinhurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Revenge when he first broke up from the Union. He places in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erden's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop, and as waves of contractors came in desperate for work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragging into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after a collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the rig. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and wielded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black, apart. Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Hardin, shits who held their place, rolled it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. This is why I can't let him strut about the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now white and glass roof. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come then, I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. Why is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? Well, I need you to disable my tracker really desperately, so yes. Feng grins. Let's go show this shit has some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of construction base always appearing through the windows. Ships are suspended like wheelcopters, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked onto one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across the gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of grey hair. Hardin. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock and Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figure turns. Yes, Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He gazes between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything that I was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlin stood for, everything Revenge stands for. Revenge? Oh, yeah. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him, some are smiling, the others nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Asked Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man's a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent? What are you if not exactly that? He looks around at the group who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of Asset Arp. You have no place in the Revenge shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right, I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted for at a members meeting for a proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide. Unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sounds of boots on walkways coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Hardin, you shithead, you can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws out a weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. Go for the weapon! As you move, Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. He shakes his hand and nods to security. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What's going on? Hardin is doing what any sneaky shithead always does, calling his friends who are tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's screen looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The always are best. Pick them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate. And you see the web is being drawn over a map of ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots, these are Hardin's buddies, the one he's messaging right now, and we are going to find them all. That was on purpose? Of course, Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. Watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Well, okay. Well, that's the next thing I need to do, I suppose. Right into it. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There is excitement in the air. Havenge has just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on a locker room bench, you can feel the side rail out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to Liu. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and wielded its bones. Now it is ready for the final stage. We will go to testing now, and then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it is deemed suitable for a generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. Then just a few cycles until Celis makes the draw. Everyone is talking about it, making bets, making claims, excited at the possibility of a new life, but something niggles you. Lamb. Without anyone to watch Mina, you doubt he made the construction crew, which means no place in the draw, no future. Better not to think too hard about it. There are no guarantees for anyone, after all. Lem is just another victim of his own hope. You know better than that. You get ready quickly, trying to outpace the guild. You get up quickly, before you can think about it anymore. There's work to be done. All needs one. Don't have one. Go sleep. I probably should be finishing soon. Ending the stream soon for today. Girl caps. I don't even know how to get that as well. Type real draw. Probably will end the stream soon-ish. When you get to the yard, Drago leads you over to the office. He doesn't say much, but you get the feeling that he has been here a while, waiting for you to come in. He opens the door and knocks for you to come inside. He clears his throat. We've been through a lot, you and I. I appreciate that, but when I pull you out of the rack, I told you not to stick around. You've helped me in the yard get back on our feet, but I can't be soft any longer. He stuffs a hand in his overall pocket and pulls out a stack of cheats. Take them. Drago presses the cheats to your hand. I've done well by you, and you return the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize that he has prepared what he's about to say. These cheats are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are from me, and they are the last I'm gonna give you. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, sleeper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures on Drago's headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. What do you know? Drago kicks at the floor, frustrated with himself. I'll not be saying it anymore, sleeper. Drago suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winter light. The stack that cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, sleeper. That could have been you. Chop and stack. His hand trembles on your shoulder. This is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and then move on. Well, I didn't cut you down, and I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. Kill you? He shakes his head. These ships, they don't get decommissioned. They break down. They didn't break down in dry dock. You think they look like that? If they did, someone ended them. And that means someone tried to end you, sleeper. And I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks back to the office. That's it. He shouts and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air and you leave, with your pockets filled with tinkling chits and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. Well, yeah. Alright. Here, you're fucking... I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from along the bar. You look over and see him leaning across it in a pool of light. Empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is parked. The load of spacers usually mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar, or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm done. Wrong. Not even close. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes. but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? One round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. Stop. Ethan's laughs hard and the people around him turn to see what's happening. I told you already about begging. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with as an ARC, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closed the gap, stumbling a little. What do you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that naughty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle for two? You don't understand. It's you, Sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us pay our debts, but it's all the harder because of idiots like you. So I should thank you. Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know? Real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up. Or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insult as he walks back towards the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds the glass and downs the contents. So please, I'll go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another drink. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark and the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway. Anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Ooh, there's more. I also really need food. Nope, not you. Energy. There we go. build a home. Oh, it could be. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I do have a lot of scrap. Fair. Key code. Veg. That's not the veg. I want Yatagan. Yatagan is all one. Guess we'll end. And I think I can call it a stream here. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, okay, that'll be it for this stream. So yeah, it's a really interesting game. It's pretty much just figuring out what to do. Like, it's very, I can definitely see like the TTRPG like aspects of it. So yeah, really interesting to see how this will go. I hope I can get a good ending, question mark, but I guess we'll see. But anyway, thank you all for tuning into this stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope any VOD viewers who watch this enjoy this as well. Yeah, we'll be back next week with more of this. Trying to see where we can go from here. We'll see the draw, if the draw favors us, even though I did not help Len and Mina. I feel very bad about that. But I guess we'll find out when the time comes. But anyway, again, thank you all. And until next time, all of you stay safe, wash your hands, all that fun stuff. And I will see you then. Okay. Goodbye.